Hi, everyone. Today we're going to discuss about the cross-border banking solution for Canadian sellers. So here with me is Cato. So Cato is a CEO and founder of GetLoop company. Cato, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thanks for having me with you today. Yes, I'm the co-founder of the business, and so what we do is we offer banking services and financial services specifically for e-commerce brands. So we work with people who sell on Amazon, Shopify, WooCommerce, Stripe, and many other payment platforms. But really what we do is we help companies with their cross-border banking needs. So many companies that are selling products or services in the e-commerce space are selling across borders. So they're operating in Canada, but they're selling to customers in the United States. And what we do is we actually have a platform that helps you manage your finances, not just in one country, but in all the countries that you're operating in.
Perfect. So I want to discuss all about your services because I myself is a client of Cato. So the reason why I found their company is because when I was starting as an Amazon seller, nobody wanted to trust me because, with all the issues with, not having enough history and everything. So they're the one who decided to, give me some loan just because of my standing in Amazon. I was already selling well, and they gave me a chance based on that, not because of my banking history or anything like that, right? So would you mind giving us the information about what can you offer to us Amazon sellers?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have several products for Amazon sellers. There's actually 4 products that we have. So the first product that we have is we have a banking solution. So what that banking solution looks like is we actually enable you to open up bank accounts in the United States. So it's a US dollar account, but instead of it being a US dollar account in Canada, it's locally based in the United States. And what that means is you actually get a US dollar account number and a routing number, which is the local US kind of payment details. So it makes it really easy to collect money from Amazon or from other customers in the United States directly into that account at zero charge or zero fee whatsoever. So it's a totally free to access US dollar account. The second thing that we do is we also have a card solution. So we have a MasterCard product that allows you to spend money in different currencies, including US dollars. What's amazing about this product is that usually, let's say you have a Canadian dollar credit card. If you're using that Canadian dollar credit card in the United States, the card company can add as much as 3.5% as a foreign exchange fee when you're spending in another currency. Our card product actually doesn't convert the funds. So if you spend in US dollars, your balance actually adds in US dollars. So you can pay back using your US dollar revenue. So you can kind of keep the money natively in that currency.
Okay. So if, for example, I'm sourcing in the US, right? So if I'm sourcing in the US and I'm using your credit card, so I will be charged in US dollar. And then if I have the money that I'm receiving from your bank, like bank solution, so I have a US dollar there, I can just pay my credit card in US dollars. So that means there's no conversion fee that I will incur, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So without these products, you might earn money in US dollars, convert it back into Canadian dollars, and then convert the Canadian dollars back into US dollars. So you converted the money twice. Whereas with Loop, what you can do is keep the money in US dollars. So you earn money in US dollars, you spend money in US dollars. So there's no conversion, no fees whatsoever. Yeah.
And so with that, for example, one of the biggest issues of Canadian sellers is that, so when we have a US dollar credit card, right? Whenever we buy something source online, so a lot of people do online arbitrage, right? So they're going to use their US dollar from, for example, RBC. A lot, in my example, usually it gets canceled, right? Especially I have trouble when I'm inputting my Canadian address. So they would cancel it, or it's because it's a Canadian credit card. So what's your solution for that?
Yeah, so our products are actually locally native to the country that you're using them in. So what that means is, like I explained with the bank account, we give you a local bank account number in the US, right? So you get a local account number and a routing number. It's not like Canadian account, which would have an account number and a transit number. Also with cards, we also do the same thing. So we give you the ability to add a US address to your profile. So if you're, using that card in the US and you need a US address, we can actually add a second address to your profile. So you can have your Canadian address, but you can also have a US address. So when you use that card to check out and pay for things, even if that checkout form requires that you enter a US address, it should still work because we have both addresses in our backend system. So we can actually support that for 4 different currencies. We can support that for Canada, the US, but we can also support it for the UK with British pounds and with euros as well. So if you're spending money in any of those 4 currencies, you can actually keep your balances in those currencies, and you can have kind of local addresses for those currencies as well.
So I guess it's really is also for Amazon seller who's not just selling in the US, but also in the UK, right? For example, can I add my prep center? So a lot of people, sometimes that's what they do. They add, because they don't know anyone in the US, can we add the prep center's address in order for us to get a US address?
Yeah, so you can add whatever address you want to your card profile. Like, so when we verify you, we'll require your business address in Canada, and that's just for signing up, so we can verify your business. But once you're verified and you're added, we can actually add any address that you have in the US. So if you're using a third-party logistics company in the US or whatever, like a prep center down there, you can use that address as well, both for sending and for receiving money.
Wow. So I guess that's really a good way for us like sellers to start, scaling up our business in the US, because this is one of the big challenges of us seller, right? And so and I want to emphasize also, like, let's go back to the US dollar account, because most people right now are looking for this type of service. I actually want to show, I'm going to share my screen in here, right? Because I prepared something, right? So this is an actual conversion that I did. I tried it when I was using your product in the first time. So I just want to see what's the difference, right? So in here, so there's also a big difference if I'm sending it to my Canadian. So what happens is that I buy a lot of my products still in Canada. So what I do is whenever Amazon gives me a payout, it will go into your account, into the Loop account for US dollar. Then I need to convert it to Canadian, right? So based on my experience, so when I try to transfer this much amount, I got the rate that I got is 0.779, and I got 1,000. Actually, it's 1,224.54 US dollar, and I got 1,570.41 conversion, right? And then when I compared it to the US to RBC, they would only give me 1,527.59, which is a $42.82 difference. And I think $42.82 difference. And if you're doing, for example, with me, I almost transfer every day, right? Because I'm one of the lucky ones where I get money constantly every 24 hours. So, sometimes it's more than this, sometimes it's like this. It depends on how much is available. And $42 is a big money to waste, right?
Yeah, so that's a lot. Over a year, that can add up to tens of thousands of dollars, right? In savings if you're doing it every single day, right?
So imagine if I do this in a week, right? So I'm just transferring 1,570 times 5, right? So that's already how much, and then times 4 for a month for 4 weeks, then that's the difference. And how much more those big sellers. So that's really a big saving. That's why I'm excited to. That's why I invited you, and I'm excited to share it with my community, because this is like, a big, like, you can make extra money by just changing your bank company, right? And also I want to share another one that I want to share. Okay, so this one. Okay, so I also want to show this to the viewers, because some of the viewers might not be aware of what's happening when you open a US dollar account, but it's based in Canada. For example, with me, I used to bank for US dollar with RBC, right? So I have an RBC US dollar account. And in the beginning, I'm lazy to change it. I've been sending from my payout from Amazon.com, it goes directly to my Canadian US dollar account, right? So what happens? So this is a simple explanation that I can show the viewers. So when Amazon sends us a payout in US dollar, what happened is that because it's in US dollar and our bank is in Canada, they will convert it to Canadian money. So then I already got charged with conversion rate, right? So then the Canadian company, so for example, RBC, will send it to my US dollar account, but because it's in Canadian, they're going to convert it again to US dollar. So again, I'm charged a conversion rate in another one. So basically, it seemed like you're going to be throwing away a lot of money, like thousands of money if you're a big seller, especially if you're just using a US dollar account from Canada to Amazon.com. So I want to emphasize that because I think this video can help out a lot of sellers to save money in this way by just, going through a company like yours and start, using your service. Okay, so for people who's doing wholesale in the States, right? So what product can you offer them aside from credit cards? So I guess it's the US banking?
Yeah, so let me just go back and quickly recap. So we have our accounts, so you can receive US dollar banking details, so you can receive payments in US dollars. We have cards, so you can make payments, interest-free payments actually using the card for 55 days, so you get 55 days of interest-free spending. We also have a payments product that lets you make payments to your customers anywhere in the world. So let's say you're paying people locally in the US, you can actually make payments to your suppliers locally in ACH for free. And we can also help you convert and send money anywhere in the world. So let's say you're paying money to China. Let's say you have a supplier in China that you're buying stuff from. You can actually use Loop to add your suppliers in China and make payments through Loop to that supplier. So we can actually help you make those payments as well. And then the fourth and final product we have is what we call our capital solutions. And this is what you were mentioning at the beginning. So we have various capital solutions for companies that allow you basically to access capital, either to do things like purchase inventory, which is kind of what you were mentioning as you're growing your business and you needed more inventory. Or we also have what we call our wholesale or purchase order financing product. And what that helps is if you're selling into wholesalers, let's say you're selling into Target or Walmart or somebody like that, we can actually finance your production cost of that order. So let's say they come to you and they say, hey, Cheryl, I want to purchase $100,000 of inventory from you. We can actually finance the cost to produce and ship that order to your wholesale customer. So we actually do that all through our line of credit product. So we can actually offer that as a credit facility to companies as well.
Perfect. So let's make it clear. So when someone applies, right? So when someone applies to your company, so what are the process so they can get an idea on how like this line of credit works and how much funding do they get, right? Like what's the process?
Yeah, it's really easy. Basically, you sign up, you provide some basic information about your business and yourself, so your business and personal details, just so we can verify you. Then what we do, we need two things in order to two pieces of data to quantify how much capital we can give you. The first is we connect to your platforms. So if you're an Amazon seller, we will actually connect to your Amazon account, and we'll look at the data in your Amazon account to determine what type of credit limit we can actually offer you. The same thing we can do for Shopify, WooCommerce, or any other platform. We can connect to those as well. And what we do there is we look at kind of your historical data, what your growth rate has been like, how much sales volume you're doing, and we use that to set a credit limit for your company, which is really great especially for people who may be just getting started or an earlier state in their business, because many times banks and other lenders will not provide any capital to those types of companies. But because we're using your data from your platform, we can actually help make sure that you can get access to capital at that earlier stage.
So what if I don't have a really good credit history, right? Like I made a mess, I made a mistake before and my credit rating is so bad. I don't have much money in the bank account. Does it matter? Or
no, yeah. So that's one of the great things about our platform is the main thing that we are looking for is really the history from your sales channel. So we're looking at what your seller history and your business performance has been, not your personal performance, right? You know, at the end of the day, we want to make sure that there's not any like big red flags, like just like you're not currently bankrupt or something like that.
Yeah.
But you know, as long as you have kind of, you know, what we call like a relatively clean history, so there's not anything that's like, you know, anything too big, that's not really what we're looking at. We're mainly looking at the business profile and the business performance, and that's what we use to determine what a credit limit is. And one other thing that I would also mention is our credit limits actually automatically grow with a company. So as you know, if you're just getting started, let's say you're a small company, you know, we may only give you a credit limit of $5,000 or $10,000 if you're just getting started. But as you grow your company and maybe your sales are growing every month, our credit limit will automatically be able to grow with the company as well. So you can basically take on more and more financing as your company grows. So we kind of try to grow what we help, you know, we try to go with you. So as your business is growing, we want to make sure that we're there to support as well.
Yeah. So how long do you need to be in the business in order for us to qualify, right?
Yeah, just 3 months. So 3 months of sales history.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 3 months of selling in Amazon, if you're selling well, then you can already apply, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So do you have some sort of extra fee like that we need to be aware of?
No, so our bank account, our card product, and our payments are all completely free for everybody to use. So there's no fee, there's no access fee, no monthly fee, nothing like that. They're completely free products. For our financing products, so if you're looking for financing, there's 2 fees that are relevant to you as a financing product. The first is there's an access fee. So there's a monthly fee if you want access to capital. So that's totally optional. You can still use our system and our products even if you don't get access to capital. But if you want to be able to borrow money through Loop, we will basically have a monthly access fee. That fee changes depending on how much money you're borrowing, right? So it can start as low as $80 and it can go up to $500 depending on how much money you're using through Loop. And then the second thing is your interest rate. So there's a fixed monthly interest rate. So every month, basically, depending on how much money you borrowed in the previous month, we'll charge a fixed rate of interest. The great thing about Loop, especially compared to other, you know, lenders and capital providers in the market, is we only charge you interest based on what's actually outstanding in the previous month. So meaning, you know, let's say you borrow $100,000 one month, and then the next month you pay $50,000 back, you're going to pay half the amount of interest when you paid down the $50,000. So it works like a real line of credit, which is really great for companies, especially that have fluctuating needs, you know, where money's coming in and out all the time. They're buying inventory and then they're selling stuff to customers and they're receiving revenue. It helps keep your financing costs low by only paying for what you're actually using.
Yeah, and I just want to add, because with me, based from my experience, so I don't have capital to start my business before, right? And with you guys, like you lend me money, and I think I would just say that only take a loan if you know what you're doing, right? So it's not bad to take a loan. I think it's good idea to use other people's money to make a living, right? Like if like we're so lucky to have a company like you guys who would be willing to, like, you know, finance us when nobody was giving us a chance, right? So if you are responsible and if you know how to do research, I think that's the time that you can move forward and use this service, because I won't recommend it to newbies, because I think if you don't know yet, for example, some people would just, oh, I'm already going to do wholesale and stuff like that, and they don't know, you can lose money, right? And then you can be in debt. But if you know how to do research already, you need to make sure that you know how to find product first before using this kind of service. I just want to emphasize that. Actually, I'm launching my course. I'm going to already say that, like teaching beginners on how to do proper research in order for you to scale up. So once you're comfortable and you can see that your income is more stable and you feel like you're more confident to invest in products, then that's the time that you can apply to Cato, right? So I'm gonna actually put the link below for the affiliate link that he gave me. So if you're interested with his product, you may click the link below and apply. Anything else that you want to share, Cato, before we end this?
Yeah. So I mean, one thing I totally agree with what you just said. I think like, the reason to use debt financing would be if you have a strategy to take $1 and turn it into $2 or $3, right? Like the reason to use that is if you have a strategy that works, to buy something at a certain price and then sell it at a higher price than what you're paying for it, right? So if you don't have that figured out yet, I completely agree with you. You're not ready yet to take on
Yes.
debt financing.
Like usually what I say to my students whenever I'm teaching them, because for a lot of people, they're scared to borrow or use credit cards or something like that.
Yeah.
But for me, I would what I would tell my student is that, when you're borrowing like money like that. So for example, with you might have a 1.64% a month of interest rate, right? So if you can use that money, the money that you borrowed, to turn it into even at least 30% ROI back, right? Then like, you make a lot of money from nothing, right? Like from nothing, from borrowing to, from capitalizing on other people's money. And I think that's the beauty of it. But just to make sure like that it's okay, like make sure that you're paying it at least every month, or if not, make sure that you're making that target, right? That it's higher than you can't, you can't have business that's like making just only 1.64% and just paying the rate. But I don't think that for Amazon seller who's already doing well, usually 30 up to 60, some even have like 100% ROI, right? So that's the beauty of it. I recommend for you to use this product only if you're making really good money and you know what you're doing.
For sure. Before we finish, what I'd love to do is quickly show you a little bit of our platform directly.
Sure.
If that's okay with you. So I'm just going to very quickly share my screen here. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, here. Yeah, we got it. All right. Let me know if you can see my
Yes,
screen.
I can see it.
Perfect.
I can
Okay.
see it.
So in here, this is my Loop account. So you can see in here, I've got various things. I've got my home, my cards, my line of credit, accounts, payments, and transactions. Right now, I'm on the accounts page. And so this is what we started talking about, which is the US dollar account. So I have accounts for US, Canadian, euros, and pounds. And if I actually go into here, I can see all my transaction history. So you can see here, if I receive money for, let's say I sell on PayPal and I receive money from PayPal, here I have a deposit coming in from PayPal into my account. So these are just my most recent transactions that I've made. If I click on see all transactions, I can see kind of my full transaction history for the account. And if I want to get my account details, let's say I want to, go into Amazon and update my account that I'm getting payouts into, I just click here, view USD account details, and then I get my account number and my routing number. I type that into Amazon, and then Amazon can pay directly into my account. So that's one of the kind of really easy things to do is you can just go into accounts here, get your US account details and start using it. For cards, that's another really seamless tool for you to use to make your payments. So if you ever need to, let's say you're paying for Amazon expenses, ad expenses, or you're paying for supplies in the US or that type of thing, you can go into cards. And what's really cool is you can actually create cards, as many cards as you want to manage your expenses, which helps with things like accounting and bookkeeping. So you can just click a button, create a card for a new person or create a card for a new reason. Like, I want to use this to pay for Amazon, and then click create a card, and it creates the card instantly in your account. Once the card is created, it will show here. And you can basically click one button to pull the card up, and then you can see all your card details. You can see your card number, your 3-digit code and your expiry date as well for the card, all within this platform. Literally, you can copy it by clicking one button. And what happens when you spend money on the card is it automatically adds to each currency balance. So this is one of the really powerful things about our card product. That's what I was trying to explain before is, when you spend in US dollars, it will automatically add to your US dollar balance. And when you spend in Canadian dollars, it will automatically add to your Canadian dollar balance. So it's all built right into here. You've kind of got your accounts, your cards. And then the last thing I'll show is payments. So
can I ask you one question on that one?
Yeah, please.
So if you're creating a credit card for someone, right? So for example, I have a shopper in the US and I want to give them another card. Can I limit the amount of how much do I put on the card so they don't need to overspend?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're releasing that feature next month actually. So that's actually a new thing that we're working on. What another thing you can also do is you can actually add team members. So you'll actually be able to add them to your account. So by going to settings, team, and then clicking on add new user, you'll actually be able to add them. And then what we're going to create very soon is the ability for you to give them a specific card with a limit. That's what you're asking. So you'll be able to give your shopper a card, but you can set a daily, a weekly, a monthly spending limit on that card. So like, let's say you only want them to spend $5,000 a month, you'll be able to create a card for them and limit their spending on that card. So that feature is coming very soon.
And how about physical card? If we want a physical card, can we get it?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's very easy to create a physical card. You just click on create new card, and then it will ask you if you want a virtual or physical card, and then you just select physical card. You can actually see here in my account, the green cards are virtual cards. So you can see here it says virtual.
Okay.
And then the black cards are physical cards. So they'll all show here. The only difference is if you create a physical card, we'll also ship you a physical card in the mail. So you'll actually get a physical card for you to use as well.
Can I ship it in US?
You can, yes.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. Yeah. So
wow.
You just need to provide us with the address of the person you want to ship it to, and then we can ship it. We can ship it in the US as well.
Wow, this is perfect because I'm actually setting up a new shopper in the US, and I think this will be perfect because I want to give them access to my credit card, but with limit. So I think I'm gonna wait until you guys set up the limit, and then I'll set it up.
You'll be our first user of the new limits feature. So that's really exciting.
That's exciting, actually. Wow, I think it seemed like your products are really meant for Amazon sellers. Everything we need, you have.
For sure. We're trying to build a platform so you can do everything in one place, right?
Yeah.
So the last thing I'll quickly show you is our payments capability, which is really powerful as well. So you can actually add payees anywhere in the world just by providing their name, address, and banking information. That once you've added it, it gets saved permanently in our platform. So you can see here, this is an example of a payee I have in the UK. This is an example of a payee I've added in the US. Let's say I want to send money to this payee in the US. So this is like a supplier, and I want to pay from my US dollar account. So I'm going to send them money. I would just basically go in here and say, I'm going to buy, I'm sending money for inventory. I'm going to send $50. I would click review and then pay, and that's it. The same day, your money will be sent from your Loop US dollar account to the pay in US dollars completely for free. So you can send money to pay in the US. And what's also great is, let's say I want to use US dollars to pay a pay in the UK now. So kind of same flow. I'm sending this to a pay in pounds. I'm going to use US dollars to pay this payee. I'm going to say goods, and I want to pay them £50. So in here, it's going to say, and this is what you were showing on your screenshot that you had earlier, I'm going to use $60 US to send £50. So we'll do the conversion for you right here within the platform. One click, just to review your rate, and the money is sent right away. So you can do that to pay payees, or as you were showing, you can do that just to convert money yourself. So let's say you want to convert your US dollar money that you received into Canadian dollars. You can also do that just by using our Move Money feature as well.
This is also where we can pay suppliers, right?
Correct. Yeah. So you would any supplier, you would add them as a payee, and then once they're here, they're saved, and you can make one-click payments to suppliers anywhere in the world. Wow,
that's really cool. Like, I think this is really business changing for a lot of Amazon sellers. So anyways, okay, so to wrap up, like if they want to apply, they can click the link below that I'm gonna put, and then it's gonna send them to the website, right, where they can apply for the account, and then you will take care of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. The sign up, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes, so it's a really, really, really quick sign up process. Okay. So all they need to do is click that link, enter their information, connect their account, so connect their Amazon account to Loop, and they can start using our service literally within minutes, so they can get access to accounts and cards all within the platform.
Wow. Thank you so much, Cato. Like, it's very informative, and I hope so many people will reach this video. So, many people would have access to funding and cross-border services that you guys are offering.
Yeah,
So
thank you for having me on. This was really great time chatting about all this stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, guys. So that's it. Like, if you want to have an access to their services, please click the link below and apply. And I bet for sure it's going to be a life changing for your business.